What's up, guys? It's Lou from Unbox Therapy, and today we're taking a look at the Sony Personal 3D viewer. Now, this is obviously an unusual device. It's a headset slash cyborg helmet. You wear this thing, and basically you get a 3D perspective equivalent to what it would be like to sit in front of a, like, say, for example, a 150-inch TV. Now, there are a couple of different ways to set it up. You can either put your HDMI source straight into the HMZ T1P, that's the code name for this device, or you can set up pass-through so you can still send video to your flat panel display and have it come through the headset as well. Now, this is actually HD OLED technology with 3D as well, and it's even got 5.1 channel surround sound emulation to make you feel even more like you're there, whether you're watching a Blu-ray or playing a game or anything along those lines. Now, I tried this thing out in the store, and it is absolutely crazy. It's impressive. You can configure the distance between each eye, which gives you incredible 3D separation, visual separation that you can't get out of a traditional pair of, say, 3D glasses when you're using your flat panel. I'll give you guys more information on that in a quick second, but first let's get all the items out of the box. We had the headset first, followed by a little bit of paperwork, and there's actually a lot of cabling included. That's because this is not a fully portable unit. You have to be near this module down here on the bottom, so it is wired. You're going to need to be close to your HDMI source, but that makes sense anyways, because who's going to carry a PS3 when they're when they're jumping on the subway or the bus or something? It's just not going to make much sense. So anyways, you are going to have to be tethered to your console. So the first thing we're going to look at is the paperwork that's going to tell you how to get this thing set up and running. Now, it is fairly configurable from a fit standpoint. After all, you're going to want it to be comfortable. So that's the very first thing you're going to want to do after looking at the guide here, is adjust the headset so that you get a comfortable fit. It is pretty heavy, but once you get that comfortable fit, it actually feels pretty good, especially if you're sitting with your head tilted backwards, lying down on a lounge chair, something along those lines. You're going to want to get comfortable because, as we all know, when you get that video game booted up, you might play for a couple of hours, a few hours, who the hell knows? So let's get a closer look at what cabling is included. I was actually very surprised to find out that there is an HDMI cable. I love it when manufacturers put the HDMI cables in the original packaging. It's always a headache to have to go out and purchase one. It's like when your device ships without batteries. Say, for example, it needs AA batteries and they aren't there, and you can't get it up and running, especially if it's late at night, which is when I usually do my unboxings. So having the HDMI cable included is a big bonus. These little contraptions here are all about fit. These things you can apply to the actual headset, and those particular ones fit around your ears to give you a softer touch. There's that HDMI cable that I mentioned a quick second ago. Other than that, you've also got power, and this is the module here that makes everything possible. It makes everything happen. On the front side of the module is where you're going to see your port to connect your actual headset. It looks proprietary to me, at least. I haven't seen this particular port before. You've also got what will be some LED indicators represented probably under the pass-through designation there, as well as the power designation. And then on the back, you've got your HDMI in and out. That's obviously important for that pass-through feature. And then your AC in. You also see this baby was made in Japan. Lastly, we've got the actual headset, including a really long cable, which is nice. You might want to be a little bit further away from your HDMI device or gaming console, etc. And then there are some headpieces included. They're labeled A, B, and C. Each one has a different depth to it. Now, that's important, again, for getting that correct fit, because after all, this device is going to live on your head, on your face. So here's a better look at each one. Obviously, C being the largest in terms of head pads, B fitting somewhere in the middle, and A being the smallest. The A is pre-installed at the moment, but you're going to want to try each one out to get the optimum fit, the optimal fit, because as I mentioned earlier, this thing is not light, and the only problem I foresee here is if your friends come over and want to try it out, it's going to be tough to get them all set up and running. You got to go tell them to buy their own. So here is the headset. I'm going to call it a headset. And you can see that even the speakers on the side, the headphone portion, is very adjustable. You can move it in, out, anything to fit your needs. The head strap on the back here is also adjustable. There's a button on top that loosens it up. Otherwise, it's locked into place. I mean, this thing is very configurable to make sure you get the right fit. So just don't strap it on and start playing. Mess around with it. Get it right. That way, you're going to get the best experience out of it. On the bottom side, you can see the actual visual portion. It looks like a couple of glasses. You've got some different buttons down here for controlling the configuration, which actually takes a while to get used to because you can't see what you're configuring. And then lastly, we've got this proprietary cable, which I said is pretty long. I think it's probably between 10 and maybe 12 feet, so you can be a fair distance from that console. Here's what I talked about earlier. You can get the optimum separation for the 3D stereoscopic video, because you can adjust the distance between each eyepiece to represent the distance between your actual eyes. So that's a really cool thing, an important thing. And then you've also got your controls, your D-pad, OK button, menu button, etc. Those are also accessible down in that location. And anyway, guys, this is a really interesting item. I can't wait to really test it out, use it, and see what it's all about. It's obviously not for everyone. It's a pretty high price tag, etc. But definitely a cool device for any geek, any nerd, any cyborg, whatever. Anyway, guys, if you enjoyed this content, hopefully you can like and favorite this video, as it does help me out a bunch. If you haven't subscribed yet, please go ahead and do so, and expect more unboxings now that I'm back from Vegas, back from CES 2012. I got a lot of cool stuff on the way, including a preview video, which is coming up next, of some of the items you can expect coming up soon. Anyway, guys, I want to thank you for watching. As always, you guys make this content possible. More on the way. I'll see you guys on the next one. Later.